Right, I'm just triple locking you all in. Hello there, amazing viewers and subscribers, and welcome to a brand new exciting Doctor Who topic video for today. So for this video, I kind of want to do a video talking about the Cybermen and how would I like to see the Cybermen kind of get fixed with the little problem they are in at this current point in time. So over the last decade, we've seen the Cybermen return quite a few times, like in series 8, 10, 12 and of course 13 for the power of the Doctor. And the Cybermen have kind of become more into this little runt they're in at the moment, where they become more of a side character. Now you're probably going, what the hell am I on about? They've always been the kind of a side character. That's not really true. The Cybermen were such a great threat back in the old days of classic Doctor Who, or should I say, back in the glory days of classic Doctor Who. Now, the thing is about me being a Doctor Who fan, I absolutely love classic Doctor Who a hell of a lot more than I do for the modern era of the show. Now, there are fans out there that absolutely love modern Who over classic Who, but for me, I just love classic Who over the majority of modern Who. Yeah, okay, modern Who's got some good seasons out there, and of course they've done some great with new villains like the Silence, and of course with other great villains. But they have treated the Cybermen so badly in the modern era, and I kind of want them to fix that. And I really want them to fix the problem with the Cybermen. So I'm going to basically talk about what I think is the problem with the Cybermen and what they need to do and what I would like to see from them. So basically, the Cybermen have become more of side characters, and that's basically over the last kind of decade. So basically, since Peter Capaldi's very first season, we see them team up with the Master, aka Missy, from cyberspace, basically using Gallifreyan tech, converting dead humans into Cybermen, and basically just to be a whole army for the Doctor. And then, of course, you got the Series 10 finale, where basically you kind of got the Master converting Mondasian people into Cybermen, just basically, he likes to call it a genesis of the Cybermen. And then really more recently we had Sacha Dhawon's kind of version of the Master team up with the Cybermen to make Cybermasters and basically over dead Time Lords and basically tries to do the Doctor's regenerations and then of course take over the Doctor's body, and the Cybermasters were there in the whole subplot. And the Cybermen have really become more side characters, and I kind of want them to step away from being side characters to be more of a proper villain like they were in classic Doctor Who. And of course in Big Finish, because they've got some great stories in Big Finish where they are the absolutely proper villains and the villains they should be in modern Doctor Who. Now, people say to me, oh, the Cybermen have got some good episodes in modern Who, what the hell am I whinging about? Well, as I did say out on sites on basically social media, the Cybermen have only 2 good episodes in the modern era, which is basically Rise of the Cybermen, Age of Steel, and of course Bad Wolf. Well, not Bad Wolf, sorry, Army Ghost and Doomsday. They've kind of been, they only got like 2 good stories, 4 episodes where they are absolutely really, really good. And the Cybermen are absolutely menacing, they're absolutely brilliant. But since basically the Next Doctor and of course Closing Time, they've really become more of a bad character, bad villains, and then they've become more like sideline characters between the Master and the Daleks. And I kind of want them to fix this with the Cybermen before they come back. So the thing is about classic Doctor Who, they have handled the Cybermen so well. If you think of stories like the 10th Planet, the Moon Base, Tomb of the Cybermen, the Wheel in Space, The Invasion, 5 stories from the 60s where they are absolutely in their glory days. Yes, I do think the Cybermen in their 60s are in their glory, and it's the best decade for the Cybermen. And then, of course, you kind of got the 80s, the second best decade for the Cybermen, being like Earthshock, The 5 Doctors, Attack of the Cybermen, and Silver Nemesis. And I have to go at my teeth because I have heard people say Silver Nemesis is the bad episode. No, it's not. I actually quite enjoyed Silver Nemesis. I mean, I don't get what the problem with people's problems are with Silver Nemesis, because it is just a good Cybermen story, and I actually do quite enjoy it. And I absolutely flipping love, basically, Silver Nemesis. It is a great story. And then, of course, for the 70s, you've only got one story, which is basically Revenge of the Cybermen, and it is so much better than half the stuff we have in the modern era of the Cybermen. Now, really, from the last episode, like Doomsday, for Modern Who. The Cybermen just go crap. They go good, like in Series 12 for the Association of the Cybermen, and of course you see the whole subplot of Assad the Lone Cyberman and basically the Cyber Warriors, but they become more side characters. So the thing is, I would like to see the Cybermen do not become side characters to the Master. Make them their own kind of villain. Make them more of a threat. And there's so many good ways you could do this. You can do an invasion type of storyline with the Cybermen. You could do with basically something like Tomb of the Cybermen, which I will say something about that a bit later on. So they could do so much more with the Cybermen. So the first thing I kind of want to say, no more team-ups. No more making them side characters. And that's the thing I would like to see. No more side characters. That's the thing. Number 2, they could fix. Make a designed Cyberman more like the classic era Cybermen. So the last time we saw the Cybermen Classic Who, basically you could have an up-to-date version of the 80s Cybermen, the Earthshock Cybermen and Silver Nemesis Cybermen. Now, people go to me, what do I mean by this? Well, I don't really like some of the designs of the modern Cybermen. Now, the Parallel Universe Cybermen, they're kind of cool. I do quite like them. But then you have the type of Iron Man Cybermen and the Cyber, which is like, ew. And then you've got ones where you got like the Cyber Warriors. You literally go, yes, these ones are quite good. I do see elements of the invasion type siren in their kind of headpieces and a little bit of Earthshock Cybermen. Yeah, they're pretty cool. But then, of course, you have ones where you got like them as the Time Lords with the Gallifreyan stuff, and I'm like going, ew. And then, of course, you have the Cyber Warriors again. I'm like, yes. And then you go, oh, yes. I kind of want to see them have something up to date, like go back to the way they were on Classic Who, like this guy for once. This is the Cyberman from basically Silver Nemesis, I would say, because of the chrome look. But look how menacing he is. And I would love to see the return of this type of menacing Cyberman. Not the stuff we have in Modern Who, where basically you go like like that. It's just something about the classic era design of Cybermen I absolutely love over the modern era. Now, people say, oh, the modern era of the Cybermen are really, really nice. They're really quite good. They've got a good design. And I'm going like, yeah, okay, 2 out of 3 of the designs we've seen for the modern era, they're okay. I mean, I do like the parallel versions, and I do like the Cyber Warriors. But then when you get to the Cyber Masters, they're like, ew. And then, of course, you have the Nightmare in Silver type, basically Iron Man ones where they like, it's just like, ew. There's quite a few designs of something, including where you go like, oh my god, what the hell's a modern Cyberman? Like that. It's a bit like that. But the thing is, though, the Cybermen have such a good design. If you can kind of base something a bit like from the actual plans they wanted to do with the Cybermen for basically the 30th anniversary in not Dimensions in Time, the Dark Dimension, with a whole different type of Cybermen, that could work in the modern era of the show and absolutely have good consequences for the 15th Doctor. I'm just saying I could do it. But the thing is, though, I would really like to see the return of more like the 80s design, or possibly a more futuristic design of something from the Moonbase / 2 Cybermen, because I do love that design as well. Very do like that design as well. It looks pretty cool. But I would love to see something like that, like the 3 hands where they're literally slashing out the tombs and stuff. So I kind of would like to see that whole new design of the Cybermen. Issue number 3. Well, in the third thing I like to see, more Earth, not basically Earth stories, like more space stories. So at the current point in time, we've seen the Cybermen kind of on Earth quite a few times in the modern era. Well, quite a lot of modern era. I kind of want to see them on a different alien planet, like something a bit like Classic Who, or you can have them invading an alien planet. So something a bit like that we hear in Attack of the Cybermen, how they basically invaded Teros and basically think they all killed all the Cryons, and of course turns out some of the Cryons still survived. Let's have something like that and have the Cybermen basically have repercussions and basically watch them invade a planet until the Doctor materializes, see what his old foes are up to, saying, I'm not having this, and go to deal with the Cybermen. This is something I would like to see the Doctor to do, and basically interfere a little bit with the Cybermen's plan. something a bit like Classic Who. I really think the Cybermen are handled a lot better in Classic Who than they are in modern Doctor Who. And that's the one thing I have to say. I absolutely do love it. It's such a great thing to say as a Doctor Who fan. Classic Who handles Cybermen so much better. Number 4, I quickly want to mention, bring back the Cybermites. Or basically the Cybermats. One or the other. Now, the last time we see the Cybermites, they basically took over the Doctor's body, bringing him, like Mr. Clever, into form and basically finding that the Doctor's a Time Lord. And of course, if you bring back the Cybermats, I'd be happy for that. Now, not the really naff design of the Cybermats we had back in Series 6 when them open up and you see the grotty little teeth. Bring back the Cybermats from the classic era. Basically, the little mats, they're something you put down and basically, you know, you watch them move about in, like, say, stories like the Tomb of the Cybermen. That's such a great story. I kind of want something to become back like they were in the classic era of the show. I kind of want them to go back to the ways they were in the classic era, what made them so great and so menacing. Like the fact, basically, when you see something like invade like the moon base, and of course, basically invade the Earth for the first time in the 10th planet, where they're trying to draw the Earth's energy, which basically causes the first Doctor to regenerate from that event. I kind of want to see something like that. I just really want to see something like that kind of return for the Cybermen, because I really think the Cybermen have become more of a side character. I want them to be more menacing. Now, when I'm thinking of how to do a Cyberman story, this is the best way I think you could do it. Alien planet, brand new cyber base, have the return of the ice tomb. So like Tomb of the Cybermen and of course the Earthshock, where you have ice tomb Cybermen that's basically hibernating. We could have that return, have that feeling, and basically have some idiot go, oh, I wonder what this button does, beep. And of course, you have released the Upon of the Cybermen. They are back. And I would actually quite enjoy that. And then, of course, basically, 5th place, just a quick mention, why not have a story set in the human and cyber war? Now, Doctor Who has done really like little bits and dabs of stories like this. I mean, in Big Finish, you kind of have the kind of redemption arc of the Cyber and Earth War, basically, in Sword of Orion. And then it was picked up in Ascension of the Cybermen, where they had to go and evacuate to, you know, Koshamus, and of course the Boundary, and they're trying to find somewhere safe to get away from the Cybermen. Why can't we not have a proper invading Cybermen story? Now, the one thing about the Whittaker era, I think they did, no Earth stories for the Cybermen. The Cybermen only had one Earth story, and that's, of course, the haunting of Villa Doti. But basically, when you kind of have stories with them invading the other planet, and of course taking over, trying to kill the last of the human colonists, and basically the last survivors, the humans, and basically try to kill them, and basically finding the old the cyber fleet, aka the cyber warriors, which was actually quite a good story. Have something like that. But I mean, there's just so much I would like to see from the Cybermen. I mean, no more Earth stories. Have stories where they're basically invading planets. Have stories where they're literally trying to set up a hibernation unit. Have something like that. Now, Attack of the Cybermen handled them trying to get their hands on the TARDIS so they can have time travel. Have something like that going on where they're trying to capture the Doctor and his TARDIS so basically they can try and achieve time travel once again. Make them more like that, the more menacing, and trying to change with the fabric of time and space. Make them go back in time, or basically have stories where they are basically just kind of more of a threat. Make them more of menacing, more of a threat. And that's the one thing I have to say about the Summon the Daleks. They did that so well in the early seasons of Modern Who. And then when you kind of get to the later half, they literally go, beep, like that. Beep. They literally fall flat. And I kind of want to see the Cybermen more menacing, more that kind of menacing feel you have them in Classic Who. Now, out of the whole year, I always go back to watch Classic Who more than I do for the modern era. And to put things about that, doing that is, I tend to watch more of the 60s, 70s and 80s stories more than I do for the revival era. I mean, recently I'm literally rewatching all of Matt Smith's stuff, but in between watching Matt Smith stuff, I am watching Classic Who. So literally I'm watching one per day from Matt Smith, and then I'm watching Classic Who for the bigger majority of the day, especially when it comes to my day off and I'm watching 3 or 4 different classic Doctor Who stories, and I'm watching one Matt Smith episode, and I'm literally thinking, oh yeah, Classic Who's definitely the bomb. Classic Who, Modern Who is like a dud. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, okay, some stuff in Modern Who's quite good, but at this point in time, the Cybermen are handled so much better in Classic Who than they are for the Modern Who. In fact, they actually are handled so much better in Big Finish, in the land of Big Finish. They have actually done some great stories with the Cybermen, and this is the one thing I want to say. I really want them to have the stories with them more menacing, not more of a side character. Basically, having them like, oh, we're going to have the Cybermen back. What are we going to do? We're going to team them up with the Master again. You've done that 3 times. Why not again? Let's do it again. No, do not do that. If you're going to bring up the Cybermen, bring them more of the antics. Make them more of the villains. Make them more of a proper villain that they were in Classic Who. Not just to be, we're going to bring the Cybermen back. You know what we should do? What? Let's bring the Master back with them. That's actually quite a good idea. Don't do that. Don't bring the Cybermen back with the Master, because there are just so many stories where they literally become side characters. And that's the thing that's really, really bugging me about the majority of Modern Who. The Cybermen are becoming more and more side characters to the Master. I want them to be the menacing Cybermen again. Make them convert humans. Make them go after humans and basically trying to hunt down the rest of the galaxy for humans, and do something like that. Have them attack a space base or a space station, and of course make them attack other alien planets. Or more importantly, have them trying to conquer an alien planet so they can turn it into their adoptive home planet number 3. So something a bit like Mundas or Teros, and basically make that their 3rd home planet or adoptive home planet, and basically create whole new legions of Cybermen through the Cybertombs. Have something like that going on. It makes more sense instead of them literally just being brought back. Oh, yay, the Cybermen. Oh, wait, yeah, they're just a side character again. They're just a side character again. And again, and again, and again. Make them more menacing. Make them more of a threat for the Doctor. Like how they were in Classic Who. I mean, when you have that fantastic shot of the Cybermen coming through the door of the freighter, and you have the Cybermen going, so, we'll meet again, Doctor. And literally just turn around and they kill that person, and the Doctor goes, you, and he looks at him and goes, he betrayed us. You never change. Have something like that. They never change. If you betray them, they will kill you. Have no team-ups. Literally, no more team-ups. If you want to know how to do the Cybermen properly, watch Classic Doctor Who Russell, watch Classic Doctor Who Moffat, and especially Christian, watch Classic Doctor Who. If you ever think of writing a Cybermen story, any of you 3, do not do it, because the team-up stories are boring. They do not work. I mean, yeah, okay, the Cybermen are, as I say, they're my top 5 favourite Doctor Who villains, but that is just because of Classic Doctor Who treats them so good than the majority of Modern Who. I mean, if you want to bring them back with the Cybermats. Bring back Cybermats, not the one from basically Closing Time. Bring back the actual proper Cybermats that we see in the fantastic story known as the Tomb of the Cybermen, and of course the Wheel in Space with the Cybermats. Have something different. Do something like Classic Doctor Who did. Yeah, okay, in Classic Doctor Who you had what? The very first story they were invading Earth, the second story they were invading the Moon, then of course you went to Teros, then of course they were trying to invade Planet 14, and then of course they tried to invade Earth again. So 2 times in the 60s they tried to invade Earth. In the 70s they were trying to invade Voga and basically kill it. Then of course you got them trying to destroy Earth, and at the beginning of the cyber war, and basically trying to stop humans from basically teaming up with other alien species to go against the Cybermen. Attack of the Cybermen, Earth, and of course Teros, and basically the whole subplot is basically trying to stop Earth, well, Mundus, from being destroyed. Silver Nemesis, they are after a Time Lord device. That's basically the Silver Nemesis that we do see them. So basically, have something different with them in Modern Who. Just do something iconic with them. Not, oh, we're going to bring the Cybermen back. What are we going to do? We're going to team them up with the Master again. No. Just do not do that. Really, really do not do that. So that's the things I like to see. No more team-ups. Go to alien planets or space stations or whatever. New Cybermen design. Cybermats return. And the fifth and most important thing, really, really most importantly, make them more menacing. That's what they need to be. They need to be more menacing. Cybermats, yes. New design, yes. Basically, the other two things I mentioned as well. No more basically team-ups. Team-ups really do kill the summon, and I want the summon to be back. I want the summon to go back to the way they were in the golden era of classic Doctor Who. And basically, well, when I say the whole golden era of Doctor Who, I mean classic Doctor Who is actually the golden era of the show. So, what would you actually different for the summon? Would you agree with me on all these? Would you not agree with me on all these? So let me know in the comments. Please do like, subscribe, and share, and join me for more awesome Doctor Who content. Have a cracking day, you amazing viewers and subscribers.